From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may see all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum, Hunabku, Eva Maya, E Maho. Ayum, Hunabku, Evam Maya, E Maho. Ayum, Hunabku, Evam Maya, E Maho.
Ayum Hunabku Evamaya Imaho. And that means all hail the harmony of mind and nature, coming together, the mind of Yeshua, the love of Yeshua, and the mind of the Creator with nature, love of nature, trees, birds, songs, everything. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this global platform, and welcome to the village. Come on in, everybody, global family, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We welcome you, welcome you. I love you, love you. Thank you for joining us. It is hurricane season. Yay! Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. I love hurricane season because we get to see weathermen do their thing, and it's like a Hollywood show. They come on and they pretend they're gods and they can control the weather and they can do all the, and they come in with their mini skirts and all that. So it's exciting during hurricane season, and there's no need to fear. Let me just say that right off. I've been through many hurricanes. I've been in Florida now since 1989, I think it was. We moved here, and no harm, no harm. When you are in the mind of the Creator, and like my guest tonight, I don't know if you noticed, Hurricane Aaron, this first hurricane of the season, was predicted to do all this damage in North Carolina and on the east coast of the United States. But it's the minds of people like my guest tonight, Reverend Jodi Suson, who override the weathermen and override these people who think they're weather gods. So tonight we're going to talk all things storms and bring in the love of our Creator that is so present in this beautiful sister of mine, Reverend Jodi Suson. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dolly?
I'm good. It rained a lot today, so the weather is cooling off. It feels like we're moving into fall almost, but I'm sure hot is still going to be here. You know how it is in Georgia and Florida.
Yeah, I mean, actually, uh, we are having a rather cool August. I mean, it was
Yeah.
hot, so it was really funny. You know, we're powerful, more powerful than what we have been led to believe. And there was about a week or so of 100-degree weather. And so I just prayed for fall.
Come on in, fall. We had enough hot summer, long hot
And
summer.
I swear to you, in 2 days, it was 70. Because I couldn't take it from 100 to 70, because then we would have created a storm. Because I always pray for ease and grace, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But thank you so much for joining me. Jodi and I met when we were part of the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio, which is gone and in space again, all somewhere. But
Blog Talk is like, shh.
yep, that lasted a good minute. I was on Blog Talk for 11 years. It's hard to believe, though, that I was actually on that space for 11 years. Now it's gone. So I'm glad that YouTube is here so we can look each other in the eye and the face and smile and not just hear. It was kind of limited Blog Talk
I
Radio.
agree. I agree. I like connecting directly with people in the most well, in the most positive way. And when you can't see people, that's removing one of the senses that we should be using. So
Yes, yes. So would you like to give our audience a little background on yourself, maybe where you were born and all that? Because I don't, most of my audience probably hasn't met you. It's been a while since we were together on this platform. So
yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, so for sure. So again, my name is Reverend Jodi Suson. I was actually, born and raised in Illinois. and lived in a bunch of different places outside of there, like Iowa, and yeah, like amongst all the corn. Anyways, but in Arizona, and that was beautiful. And my background is, actually in marketing and finance. And I spent the better of 40 plus years, 45 years in marketing and finance. But as this picture will show you, I was, well, I guess you can't really see that one. Hold on. So I was a bodybuilder, benching 185.
Wow.
And was misdiagnosed and put on 50 drugs. I gained 100 pounds in 8 weeks, and then, was put on 10 clinical trials. So I reversed all those conditions using plant and energy based healing. And today I dedicate my life to empowering others, to understanding how powerful you are, meaning your mind. Your mind is powerful, but honestly, even though I'm a brain health professional and board certified in neurolinguistic programming and nutrition and all this stuff, and you think, I would say your brain is the most powerful. Now, your brain is very powerful, but it's not the most powerful. The most powerful is your heart. So, and so what I want to talk about today is like how we can not let the weather gods, as you put it, control, right? And instill fear in us, because we can actually shift anything we want with our thoughts. But the thoughts need to not come from the brain. They need to come from the heart that feed the brain. And I guess this is called heart math or heart math coherence. But I didn't learn heart math coherence. I never trained on it. I never read it. It was downloaded to me from the divine, because I was kind of stupid. I was using my brain for everything.
That's what we do.
Trouble.
Yeah,
What?
that's what we do.
Yeah, got me into trouble. I'm just going to tell you. And so, going back to your commentary about how these weathermen, they get on the news, which I've not watched since 2013. And now they can do it on social media, right? Facebook and what have you. So I'm not completely null or void of what's happening,
Right.
but the narrative hasn't changed. So they're using you as a tool to drive their agenda. So first of all, everything in the world is a frequency, and it starts with our thoughts. Everything starts as a thought. Everything. And so we already know that that they can manipulate the weather either by cloud seeding, and everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only, by the way. So for through cloud seeding or using frequencies, because both you and I use frequencies, right? And but frequencies, which are amazing and will help the body self heal, also can be harmful, right? And so they're using those frequencies to drive hurricanes, I don't know, into the mountains, right? Like they did last year. And so the truth of the matter is they can leverage the energy of your fear to accomplish whatever it is that they're trying to achieve, assuming it's bad, right? And so we can lead with love, and we can override somebody else's negativity and their belief systems by really just going into prayer and leading with love. So my girlfriend Jen and I, I told her that you wanted me to come on the 24th, and I said, but it seems like we've got hurricanes now. I'm like, because I kind of caught wind.
Aaron.
She goes, well, we'll just quash it. And I said, sounds like a good idea. So we took like the energy of a heart and love and put it on top of the hurricane from this week, which
Aaron.
was, Erin, yeah. So I met her, I think, on Monday or Tuesday, and we were sending it love. And I don't think it was as bad as it was supposed to be. Is that right?
Right, right. They're supposed to devastate the whole East Coast, North Carolina, all the way, and all they got was some heavy waves.
So if we can stay, or look, no one's ever going to stay in a state of love all the time. It's
Yeah.
just not going to happen. But really, you catch yourself and you bring in the what I call the attitude of gratitude, right? Because that's where we can start. And you start with gratitude, and then you manifest the love, and you find all the things that you need to be grateful for. You can bring that in and substitute their fear. And by the way, did you ever hear, like when you were a kid, how love heals everything?
Oh, yes, yes.
So were you like me? I thought it was poppycock.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah, right. It's like that was our attitude. Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like my grandson when I tell him something like that, love heals everything. I don't believe you. That's his first response. I'm like, okay. And so he has to find out on his own journey with his own experience that it's true.
Right, because I never believed that ever. And in my book, which is the Emotional Healing Toxic Free Living, I am an author now. And it's actually, this is an award-winning book. It became an international award-winning book in the first 90 days of publication, in the category of mind, body, spirit. So it helps people to reclaim, reframe, right? Because it's not just emotional healing, toxic-free living. It's model new behaviors and reset old belief systems, right? Because if we keep thinking and doing the old things that we were doing, we're going to keep getting all the stuff that we got, right?
Exactly.
So,
And what's your website again? Let me type that in.
yeah, so I can actually put it in the post the comments. So,
okay, good.
So this is the main website, and when you go to the main website, the book is right there. You just click the link, and it takes you where you need to go. This comment has failed to post. Okay, so let me just put it in the private chat.
Okay.
It doesn't want to take it. But I have the hard copy or paperback, the ebook, and the audiobook. And you don't have to buy it from Amazon. You can buy it from me. So.
That's right. That's the best place, in my opinion. Amazon taking half our money for all the work we do, and it just doesn't seem worth it anymore to let Amazon do what they do. No, too much work goes into being an author, and then marketing is the biggest part of getting that love message out. And so if you're not even getting paid, even with Amazon, sometimes the payment doesn't come right away. I'm sure you know about that. And so we're being creative on how we market our love message. I want to call it a love message because as authors,
it's absolutely a love message. This teaches you how to lead with love, which is what my bird taught me. I mean, I had to learn it from an animal because the humans weren't giving me the right roadmap. And I wasn't listening. I would listen to her. So, look, you got to learn how to lead with love. And if you can't do it with a human, do what I did. Start with a pet.
That's right. Yep. Unconditional love from your bird, your dog, or whoever's there that whoever shows up, huh? How about that?
Well, yeah. I mean, because I'm seeing if I can find the photo. But basically what happened was, and I apologize for having my head down here.
Oh, that's okay.
So she was, I was in my home in Illinois at the time. Like I said, I live in Georgia now. And I took a picture of Fagala and Tinkerbell.
That's your bird.
Yep. Well, when the picture came out, there was a big line, dark charcoal colored line going down her chest. So let me show it to you. I don't know if that can be seen or not. Nope, not really.
Right. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, here we go. Do you see that black line going down her chest?
Uh-huh.
And I looked at that And then I looked at her and I'm like, it's not on the bird. It's only on the photo.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's kind of interesting.
And so there was a woman who I was friendly with in Illinois. And that's when she told me that Fagla was, she called her a griffin. And in our terms, she's basically a spiritual being. She's a spiritual messenger from God.
Yes.
And so she teaches me. She teaches me all that. So, make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Because it's like everything in nature is teaching us something. The trees. I posted a video recently from a guy who was saying you can get a message from the tree when you do this certain routine. Like I think it was hold on to the tree for 2 to 3 minutes, and then you'd intentionally ask the tree what you need to know, and then it's going to give you the message. I'm like, I can believe that. Yeah, sounds very reasonable. But some people have no idea that that's even possible.
Well, and everybody's on a journey,
Yeah.
and everybody has to do this at their own pace. And that's okay. We want to, the more that we accept people exactly where they're at, right? The faster they become rapid learners, because we have to accept them where they're at. And when I sense that, because you're an intuitive also, right? So when I sense that, how I show up doesn't necessarily resonate for somebody, instead of giving them the whole story, I'll just plant a small seed, right? Because look, there's a good portion of the planet that completely gets that everything has consciousness. Everything. The chair that we're sitting on, right? The computer that we're working with, and the water that we drink. And actually, can we go back to the storms?
Of course.
Perfect. So that everything has consciousness. So why would I tell you that I can move water? Because that's what we're doing when we're moving a storm, right? So water, we know scientifically will hold emotion, right? There's no question about it. Actually, I have a research paper on it from a friend of mine out in the Cayman Islands who does some studies on that, in addition to what Masuro Emoto has done. And so if we know that water holds emotion, right, and you're operating from a fear-based state, right, then what are we going to create? We're going to create a storm, aren't we? And by the way, I did put my email address in the private chat. You just have to put it in the comments.
Yes, I got that. Okay.
Okay, cool. So an interesting thing, I noticed that I was having issues with my water here. And then I realized it was my energy.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, go ahead.
You mean your water, your from the faucet?
Yeah, actually, I think I busted 2 toilets is what I did.
What?
Yeah, so the water kept on running because we're energy. And so if our emotions, I was clearing a lot of energy and it impacted the toilets, both of them.
Wow.
One upstairs, second one downstairs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There's really nothing wrong with the technology.
That's so interesting, though, that it could reach that far into your space.
Right, it's only one room over, right? And then when you think about it, have you ever done the laundry, like put clothes in the washer, and it comes out all tangled?
Yes.
That's a representation of your energy.
Okay.
Because the water's carried entangling. If you're entangled and you're all confused and all of that, then you're soul purpose healing. Is that you? Are they both you?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, okay.
That's
So,
Facebook.
so if they're entangled like that and your energy's all wonky, it's going to show up and present in the things that you're interacting with. So once I decided to clear my energy and stop having anger or frustration when I was doing my laundry no longer came out entangled with all this crap.
Wow.
Mhm.
That is just mind blowing that we're so ignorant about what we're putting out from our feelings. From our feelings. It's
Yes,
like,
yes.
yeah,
Well,
I
I mean, and I'll be the first one in line to tell you how ignorant I was. I'm the first one in line.
yeah.
Like we're ignorant. And so then when you have time by yourself, if you have time by yourself, honor that time. Don't get lonely. Go within. Find out why you feel the way that you feel. Practice some self awareness and then release what doesn't serve you.
Now, what do you advise for a lot of people who are still holding on to their childhood blocks, traumas, and that seems to be what's interfering with a lot of the fear that comes up, even for hurricanes and storms of just storms in life in general. We could talk about all the storms in our metaphysical journey that are keeping us stuck. How do we break free from that? Because that's what's feeding these hurricanes.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a page on my website and ask you to allow me to share it.
Sure.
And the page is here. And I will share it with you as a link that you can share with your listeners. And then, but I will also share it. I'll present it on the stage because I'm going to answer your question. And I'm
Yes.
going to give people a step-by-step process. And I will tell you that you can get all this information free on my website. And then if you want to learn, if you want to own your own pocket prayer card, because it's shown up on the website, you can buy it. You don't have to. It's only if you want to have one in your pocket. Otherwise, you can just read the information and it's free for you. Okay.
Right.
So let me go ahead and do a share screen. Let me see here. Entire screen, window. Here we go. All right. So so you just have to, I think, add it to the stage. There you go. And then I'm going to do my best to navigate. So this is a download from the divine. And there's video instruction here. This orange takes you to the video instruction. But I encourage people to ground themselves on this crystal knot. You can also just ground yourself, on earth, anywhere, right, that you are connected to. And this is the pocket prayer card. So this is one side of the card. And then that's Fegala. And this is the second part of the card. This is the back side of the card. And I'm going to make this a little larger just so everyone can really tap into it. These are spiritual photography. I turned out to be I didn't really wake up one day and say, oh, I want to be a spiritual photographer. But God just kept on showing up in the photos. So this was taken in a dark cave. And you'll see here on the top right is the Christ consciousness. And then there's this purple vortex. And then when you go over here to the picture to the left of that, that vortex is blown up a little bit. And you see this golden eye, an aura eye. And inside of this vortex, which, let me see if I have a blow up of that. I don't know that I do. I kind of do. So let me see if I can do this. Wait a minute. So that's better. Are you seeing that pretty well on your screen? Let me see.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I see a lot of sacred geometry there.
Yeah. So there's a third eye in here, but there's also a third eye up top. And then do you see this right here? Where I'm just
That's where I'm looking. I was looking at all the sacred geometry shapes there.
That's Mary Magdalene.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm. That's Mary Magdalene. And when you go down here, you can see her outline of her face right here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Like what, we're on air, so
Right.
it's
And
WTF.
that reminds me of this guy who does a teaching on sacred geometry, and he talks about the triangle being a feminine and the male coming together in these reverse triangle positions. And that's what that reminds me of, that feminine energy of Mary Magdalene in that sacred geometry, which is everywhere on the planet. Yeah.
Right. It's in your dandelions, right?
Yes.
I thought I had uploaded, but I apparently didn't get a chance to update. But there's another one. There's also here, and it's not circled, but this is parrot energy. There's actually the outline of a parrot. This is the body, and this is the tail here. Um, and then you have up here. See, this is a Saint Germain violet flame. And so, what I encourage people to do is to access this energy as a way to clear unwanted energy. Okay. You can clear thought forms, negative thought forms. You can clear entities, dark entities, or even if they're not a dark entity. What if somebody, there's, which I don't know if we really have time for tonight, but what if you have a walk in, or there's like an attachment? You can just clear all that using this protocol that I'm going to teach you. And so, and again, the video is also available on my YouTube channel, which is Suson Essentials. So I'm just going to page down here. Apparently, I paged down too far. Forgive me. 1 second. And I'm going to tell people what is all inclusive in the All Clear protocol. And what you do is you give this information to your spiritual guides and Jesus, and then they know what the All Clear protocol is inclusive of, and you don't have to remember all this, because that's why I did it. I'm a high D with a, in the disc profile, and which means I just like getting to the point. So the All Clear protocol, after you've grounded yourself, connected yourself to source, okay, you can do this process. Again, I created it so I could be efficient with my spiritual guides, and I wouldn't have to either repeat myself or possibly forget. So I started using this like for my self-limiting beliefs. Like I'm not good enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not, fill in the blank, I'm not enough, right? And everyone's got these belief systems that were ingrained from childhood. So going back to your question, how do we handle these childhood wounds? This is the start. It's not the end all. There are many, many modalities. This is just one. You need to find the one for you. But when we do the All Clear protocol, we're removing the stuck and unwanted thought forms, energies, behaviors, actions, or inactions from your morphogenic field, your biofield. And the agreement, like I said, I created with my guides is have these areas included. So this includes my physical body, my subconscious mind and thoughts, my chakras, including the 5 above and 5 below, the emotional body, spiritual body, which includes that biofield, right? The morphogenic field. Any unwanted cellular memories that are housed in my organs, my tissues, and my cells. Any unwanted imprints that are left on me by myself or others. Like we imprint ourselves all the time, folks. So like, I wouldn't be so worried how other people have imprinted you. Trust me, you're doing a good job. You know, and then my entire lineage, because if I'm going to clear it for me, I'm going to clear it for the people that live before me and who are, living, in the future or present. So past lives, all my timelines, all my alternate dimensions and galaxies. And then this is really, really important, or something better, because we're limited by our own human existence. So if you put in or something better whenever you're manifesting or clearing, you're giving Christ or source, you're surrendering to their will and their ability to know for you what you can't see and know for yourself. And
That's
we have to be very humble about what we think we know. Okay.
that's right.
Okay. So these are the issues: self-love, clear any issues around self-love, self-forgiveness, self-limiting beliefs, abundance issues, anger issues, resentment, or betrayal. The list is endless. And then what I do is I make sure that whatever I take out, I always replace, and that's part of the protocol. I always end up doing it anyway, but you replace it. For me, it's with the Christ white light and Saint Germain's violet flame. I also sometimes I'll add like rose, the energy of rose quartz, or sorry, I've got something in my eye. The energy of rose quartz, which is helps with self love, or the energy of I put in bee energy, because bee energy, bees buzz at the frequency of 528, which is the frequency of love. So that's kind of what I do. And it's helped me tremendously, because like if I'm having a conversation with someone and it's and I catch myself being triggered, I just kind of mumble under my breath to God to do the all clear protocol for me. And then, then that clears it for me, like that. Questions, or do you want to see?
Yeah, can you give us a kind of a meditation or a guided meditation or an example of this? What I see is you're helping people develop emotional intelligence with this protocol, with this process, because like you were mentioning, when you get triggered,
Mhm.
that means you have consciousness that you have to do something, or you don't have to. You can choose to do something different,
Right.
not react with or something lower frequency, fear, anger, hate, whatever. And you can go into a higher vibration of gratitude, for instance. That's the place to go. And love. We're here today or tonight to use the love energy to change the storms, which are coming. They're coming, folks. It's again for especially all you Floridians. We always have to be prepared for these storms that are coming. And so you're sharing with us, you're guiding us through the leading us with the love energy that and the knowledge that you've gained, which is so beautiful. Through all the trials you've been through and the trauma and all that, you've come up with this beautiful pattern or this beautiful process that leads with love.
Yeah, which allows you to remove the pattern.
Yeah.
The pattern.
Yeah.
And I have another pattern I had today, and I just did it again now. So I have this bad it's not bad. It's a pattern. Like, we don't want to like make myself wrong or whatever, but I get excited. Okay. And out of my excitement, guess what I do? I interrupt people all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm doing the all clear protocol because it's brought to my attention today. So I'm doing the all clear protocol to remove that pattern. I'm also asking God where that pattern came. Like why did that pattern, where did it source from? And I don't have that answer yet because I was on calls all day today. So, but before I go to bed, if I don't get the answer before I go to bed, I'll ask him to make sure he downloads it to me when I wake up in the morning. And then I'll clear that.
So that is such a conscious lifestyle to use what the creator has given you as a tool to keep you at a higher vibration, to keep you in the emotional intelligence. That's my big thing, teaching about emotional intelligence. I've had so many people in my life show me what happens when you don't have it. It's like, oh, wait a minute. And we don't realize the effect the lack of emotional intelligence has on our lives and our health and our body, our mental, everything. And my grandson is the biggest teacher for me about that. The emotions of hate, for instance, that the emotions that he likes to carry that are teaching me how not to react or be triggered, but to, like you just said, when you get excited and you want to interrupt. See, I want to interrupt him a lot when he gets into these low frequency vibrations, but I'm learning that I have to listen and pause and then respond and not react, because some of the things he does, you want to just get a belt and spank him. That's my old reaction.
Yeah, which would leave a cellular memory, right? Because, I talk about that in my book. So Tuesday was strap day. So my father, he did not have his father around when he was growing up. He had TB. And so his father left the family. And my father was working like as a child, cleaning fish at the dock in Chicago. He didn't really have a role model. And so he didn't have a model of behavior to operate from that would, generate what he needed to generate. And he wanted to make sure that we're in line for the week. So Tuesdays, we all got hit because it was Tuesday.
Yeah. Hey, why not Tuesday, huh? The mind of some parents is like the the training from their childhood. That's why I learned to love my mother, see my mother with love in her alcoholism, because I didn't understand her childhood fully. And if we don't understand our parents and grandparents' childhood fully, their behavior is normal to them based on what they were trained to do, what they received from their parents. And what is it? Lack of love. No love from their parents, just hard discipline, survival, fear, all those low frequency emotions our parents and grandparents experience, especially in the Black community.
Yeah. I mean, my mom and my aunt were both beaten by their mom.
Yeah.
So, we don't really know. We don't walk in other people's shoes.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why we have to have so much compassion if we want to see things change.
And grace. Yeah, a lot of grace.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say this. Sometimes you have to throw that compassion and grace from the other side of the street or another state. Well, I look, I want to just, because I think it's fair to say, like, guys, I mean, sometimes people need to heal in a little silence, and it's actually okay.
Yeah.
You're not abandoning anybody. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that way they hear from source more than your voice. Because that's how creator speaks to us in silence. When that person is not hearing all those noises and voices, it'll come to them at some point. And so yeah, we are. So we've got these storms are headed our way, Jodi. This is hurricanes.
Oh no, they're not.
In the mind of the weathermen, they got them lining up by the names and all that. It's like this process.
Well, so everyone can just pray as we do all the time. I'm in prayer every morning, every night, a couple times, 2 to 3 times at least a day. And look, here's a great idea. Before you get out of bed, before you wake up, before you pick up that phone, right?
Yeah.
Pick up God.
Yeah.
Pick up God. right? Oh, he's ringing in my ears when I just said that.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, pick up God.
Yep.
Really, pick up God. And let him give you your marching orders for the day. Start with gratitude. And, ask him to remove any fear. All clear protocol on fear, right? And release any fear that you may have in relationship, let's say, to your loved ones, to your job, right? To weather, to driving, like maybe you have fear of going to the grocery store. Who knows, right? Whatever that fear is, all clear protocol on fear, right? And you can just take it out. And it's not even a meditation, it's just that quick. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It's this. So I'm, for the most part, I can't say always, but I would say most of the time, connected to source. I've retrained my brain to be in the alpha state and theta state at the same time. The theta state is kind of how you feel. I think the frequency is between 4 and 7 hertz, and it's the energy that you feel like when you're in the mountains. Okay, and that's actually that frequency, and it's a creative frequency that connects you to God, and or to goodness, right? And so, if you can just connect there, and then pray for the healing of the planet. I mean, if I can pray for the healing of the planet, so can you.
Yes. Yes. So we want this to be the beginning for everyone listening to take on this mind that Jodi is speaking of, reminding us to connect your Wi-Fi system to Creator and your ancestors and the messengers around us in the form of ants, birds, bees. I have a wasp that visits me almost every other day, and it's not the same one because there's a nest somewhere in here.
Right.
So I've learned to just communicate with this wasp because he just wants to come in and get out. He's in the sea. He comes in through the ceiling somewhere. He comes in here, and then he's looking for light. He always goes to a certain window that has a lot of light, and he's like trying to get out. And so I get my little cup, cover him up, and take him outside. And another one shows up. So this routine that I'm having is just such a connection to the Creator's nature and communication, because just the movement of this creature, this insect, is telling me exactly what it needs. I just want to get out. I'm just here.
You know what a wasp represents? Spiritual
protection for me. One of them is protection.
Also represents, I believe, community. And not only just community, but community of women, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to double check myself. I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Also is perseverance.
Okay.
And hard work. Let's see.
He was actually in bed with me one morning, because I had my window covered. The light wasn't coming in like it needed, and he said, "Hey, get up." I was like, "Oh, I did get up real quick." I was like, "Okay, you're here." And
so I have, I've had all these spiders, orb spiders. Look, and there's certain places in the house. I'm like, yeah, I mean, outside the house that they can hang. I'm completely fine with that, right? They have a purpose. We don't really want to kill our insects,
right?
And we need them. Just because they're different does not give you the right to kill them. And so what I'll say is that they decided to house in a place at the house that I was not okay with. So I took down their spider web. Now, I kept them intact. And then I had a conversation with him. I said, you're welcome to stay at the house, not here. And so they built it somewhere else. I don't have squirrels digging up my garden because we had a conversation. But I put out food for them, but they just don't they just don't eat the food that I'm growing. And there's Kwame's sun horse. Hello, Kwame. How are you, lovey?
Okay. I missed the comments. Hi,
He
Kwame.
said, hey, Jodi. Just to
Yay.
know. So he's a fellow Georgian.
Yeah, you guys should get together. You did get together at one time.
I've known him for a couple of years, but yeah, he's an
Yeah.
amazing soul.
Yeah.
He's definitely an amazing soul.
Yeah. Absolutely. Family. We all family here.
Mhm.
So yeah, I have squirrel. I feed the squirrels here now with almonds and sunflower seeds. I had a plant growing out. I bought a plant from this fair festival we went to. It was a plant that attracts hummingbirds. The squirrels were digging up the dirt in this plant, so I had to move it inside my screened patio because they were digging up the dirt around this plant.
So all you have to do is ask them not to do it.
Okay, because I got to put that plant. If I'm going to attract hummingbirds, I can't keep it in the screened-in patio. So
Right. So I planted butterfly bushes, and my hummingbirds love it.
yeah,
Kwame's asking, how are the birds?
yeah, we need to know, how are they? Fagula and who's the other?
Tinkerbell,
Tinkerbell.
right? Built-in fairy.
Where are they? Why aren't they here?
They're sleeping.
Oh, okay.
I put them to bed.
Okay.
So they go to bed. Okay. They're supposed to go to bed around 8 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah. So they need 12 hours of sleep. And because all the other birds are sleeping out there, it's dark, right? And
You cover their cage. They're in a cage, right?
Yeah, so they have like 4 cages.
Okay,
I
nice.
call them condos, and they have a condo in mommy's bedroom,
Okay.
and a small one, right? That sits on the floor next to the bed.
Okay.
And so what I do is I put a blanket over that, and then I have like one of these PEMF devices that has a microcirculation, like for increasing. So I put that on top of the cage when they go to bed, and then I take a Faraday blanket and I put it over the bubble, like this PEMF device, and they get like the Schumann resonance for 12 hours. So they're healthy birdies. Because when I put the Faraday blanket on, it encapsulates all that beautiful earth energy. So they're sleeping in very healthy energy for 12 hours. So that's how they are, Kwame, and they are very healthy. And so because of that, they don't have to manage many storms in life, right? So going back to storms, I would say that one of the things that people want to do to help manage the storms of life is, besides prayer, is make sure that you're taking high frequency nutrition. If you have to pick something, I would say do minerals. Most people are mineral deficient, and it keeps you connected to goodness and connected to each other. And if you're mineral deficient, you may end up with like things like hip pain, muscle pain, not being able to sleep. So those things are really important when you are, trying to stay grounded and manage life storms. And the other thing is using essential oils to ground you. You can actually inhale. Actually, this is a new brand, Vibrant Blue Oils. She makes all these oils for your brain and your emotions. And so you have 350 to 400 odor receptors in the nose. So you can actually calm your brain. If you're calming your brain, you're calming your emotions. But this one in particular is called parasympathetic. It's made with clove and lime, and you put it behind your ears, right? Which is, boy, I've got some news for you. So you put it behind the ears, which is all this is your vagus nerve, right? And why is that important? Well, most people are taking their phone and they're holding it to their head, which is clumping the red blood cells, not only in their brain, but this vagus nerve, right? And so then people have like headaches, they have, so I just explained that, I think. I'll come back to the question again. Um, so uh, so you put this oil, this parasympathetic, and it allows the travel of the detox that you do at night. Your brain detoxes at night. So instead of having it be clumped because you've got Bluetooth there, or as Kwame saying, like Wi-Fi or whatever, it allows for the flow of that information and the detox of your brain and keeping you really healthy. And that way you can easily navigate the terrain and not get triggered. Okay. Going back to Kwame's question, Wi-Fi frequencies affects the birds. How do you protect them? Well, the outside birds, they stay in the trees. That's the best way that an outside bird can protect itself. The inside birds, I think I was just sharing, is that I put on this bubble. These bubbles, actually I sell them. But it's pulse electromagnetic frequencies. And what it does is it increases microcirculation, grounds you with the Earth's frequency, and allows you to absorb the nutrition that we were talking about. So this bubble, one just like it, is actually, I put a blanket over their cage, Kwame. Then I take the bubble and I put it on top of the blanket. And then I take a Faraday blanket, which blocks all frequencies, and I put it between the blanket, the PEMF device, and then the blanket, the Faraday blanket's right on top. And so therefore they're not getting any Wi-Fi whatsoever. And plus we turn our Wi-Fi off at night when we're doing a good job. Not always, I do my best to remember.
Yeah.
That's what we do, is to protect the birds. I do that. Plus, I don't put any. They don't sit by a computer. We don't have a TV in our bedroom. These are also ways to navigate, the storms, right? Because the storms of life are caused by these frequencies that are negatively impacting how your neurotransmitters are getting to every organ, tissue, and cell. And so if you're constantly exposed to Wi-Fi, you're blocking that transmission. And then if it's blocking, that shows up as, an argument, crying, depression, like all of that. Make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. The emotions come out when your nervous system is irritated, is what I'm seeing. And sometimes, like we're saying, all you can do is send love to that person, that situation. They're not even hearing the help from you or you or I, because the nervous system is kind of, to me, what I see, blocking the energy of love coming in sometimes.
Well,
So,
it got hijacked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing, I was doing some research about the methylation pathways. So, as you know, I'm reframing mental health for the world, and I sent my book out to Bobby Kennedy yesterday overnight, and so here's the thing: 50% of the population is missing a gene that helps them send dopamine or serotonin to the organs, tissues, and cells in their body. And dopamine and serotonin, these are your happy hormones, right? And so if you're one of those 50%, which I am, okay, I'm missing that gene. Well, actually, I downloaded it from the Divine tonight, or this morning. So it's on its way back.
So
But
how did you know that you're missing it?
I did a test.
Oh, okay.
You can do a test.
Okay.
It's not very expensive. If they want that test, they can come get me. Like, I can do that. Hi, Kwame. Yes, thank us. So that's why I had that misdiagnosis. I didn't actually have bipolar disorder or schizophrenia. I was missing a gene. Well, it's an easy fix. I mean, you don't have to download the gene from the divine. I know that's what I did, but the point is that you can take methyl B, you can take a semi-glutide. You know, there's a lot of different ways to give your body what it needs. So look, you can have every recessive gene on the planet. Right now we're just talking about mental health, but you can have the genes for arthritis. You can have the genes for Alzheimer's. You can have the genes, name a disease, right? I don't care. It does not need to be expressed as long as you have the proper nutrition. We have nutrition to offset the recessive genes. We've known this for a long time, right?
Right.
So if we can get people to understand that they don't have to suffer anymore, that would be huge. They have a choice. They don't have to do it with drugs. Like they don't have to take a drug.
That is such a huge thought, even to suggest people don't have to suffer anymore. It's just so many. To me, I see so many reasons that people are choosing to suffer unconsciously. Okay.
I was.
Yeah.
I'll start with me. I was choosing unconsciously to suffer. And not only that, it was written in my Akashic records.
Okay.
So I took it out.
Because you see a benefit somehow unconsciously, right? In suffering, you're going to get some attention, or you're going to, go on this path of victimhood that you need to be on. And in some ways, that's something that people signed up for when they came here. I'm going to play the victim role for a while.
Right. Some people play these roles to show us what to do and what not to do.
Exactly. We need on the stage, we need all positions filled, actors, all roles filled on this stage of life, the sufferers and the victors and the kings, the queens, the goddesses, everybody's playing their little role. And I think my problem was trying to change people, wanting to change people to be more like me, or be more like Christ, or be like whatever that I thought was a better role for them to play. And I'm so glad I've come out of that for the most part.
Me too. Because I was doing that all the time.
Hey, just trying to be plan B here. That's what we talking about, plan B. Get out of the matrix and just be the light, and then watch people suffer. Good job of suffering there. I'm out of this. Even with things going on in Gaza and Palestine, it's like I'm out of this. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. It's like I'm in the, what can I do personally to be different from the evil that's surrounding us? That's my role now.
The first thing is, if someone's suffering, find them right. Right? I mean, like, we have to find them right. And, my sister, I have a sister who's in Georgia. She's really brilliant. And, one of the things that, I never held space for her, ever, because I suffered every time I saw her suffering.
Oh, wow.
And I finally told her just 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I'm not holding space for you. She goes, I know. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Big revelation, huh?
Well, because I didn't understand. It was painful for me to hear whatever she had to say, because I had so much love for her.
Right.
Not because, and so think about the dichotomy. So people think, like, when you don't hold space for somebody or whatever, they think it's because you don't love them. But what if it was that you love them so much, the pain was just too much?
Right.
Like, what about that?
Yeah.
And so you understand that what people do is never because of you.
Right.
I mean, like, in other words, it's always because of what's happening for them. And so then you can just send them grace, send them love, and allow and hold space for them to process and catch up with wherever you're at. Or not. They may never catch up.
Yeah, and being an empath, you realize how much things affect you, and you end up weakening your spirit, your body, your mind when you don't have the boundary and protect yourself and stay at a higher emotional vibration other than sadness about what you're seeing. It's like I'm grateful that I get to have this journey with you and learn from you and grow
Right.
from you and be able to help you when I can, but I can no longer carry sadness about what you're
Yeah.
going through.
So one of the things that I picked up, there are certain people in my life that when they talk about what's happened, they go into the gory details. I can't do it. And so I have to stop them right away. And I'm like, uh, I need you to pause. And then, of course, they just keep on talking. And I'm like, no, I really need you to pause. I said, I can't hold space for that. Like, I can't hear the details and the gory, gruesome detail of what may have happened to somebody, right? That
Right.
they're speaking out, which, by the way, brings it into existence.
Right.
So you
Right.
don't want to repeat that. Especially, I'm not a qualified health practitioner who's qualified to handle hearing that information. And honestly, I mean, in some ways I'm qualified because I can transmute it, right? But we don't want to revisit all this trauma. You don't want to be talking about trauma all the time because you're digging that trauma deeper into your cells, people, right? So instead, step back, be the observer, right? Hold space, ask God, what's the lesson for the trauma? Send gratitude for the lesson, give him the trauma to carry for yourself, or use the all clear protocol, whatever works for you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because carrying the role you're playing as the suffering servant or the suffering person or the victim is not going to bring you joy, happiness, and health. Really.
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. Most people are not aware. I went through a divorce, right? And I don't really talk about it. Never did. Right? Because first of all, I'm not here to beat up my former husband. That's not on my agenda. That's not a good plan. Never was. Right? And second of all, it's the past. And if I have something that I need to work out on that, I need to talk to God about it or to a professional.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And divorce, I've been through a divorce. We've been through that divorce, and we realized the blessing in that divorce at some point because that person who we came together with for a period of time was here to teach us a lesson. It was I call it divorce or marriage 101.
Yeah.
If we don't kill each other in that marriage, we pass the class. Because then we have to go our separate ways and learn the lesson from that union that took place. And so I'm so grateful for not only my divorce, but my son's divorce. My son went through a divorce shortly after my divorce. Out of that divorce, I'm here in this place, renovated a shed, living in peace. And I get to see my grandchildren every time they show up. So many things came out of the divorces, my son's and mine, that caused me to be in gratitude. But it was a storm. How about this, Jodi? The storm that we had to go through to get to this place of peace and gratitude after the divorce was powerful, was strong and influential and life-changing. And how about transformational? When we went through that storm with that person, then the separation and the divorce, and then realizing that we weren't supposed to be with that person but certain period of time, and now we're in a different place. So gratitude can show up, blessings can show up, but then not everybody gets there right away. but
Yeah, I mean, there's growth, right? So,
yeah, it's all about growth. Evolution.
mhm,
Evolution. So thank you that you're sharing about your divorce. But like you said, we don't have to go into the details.
don't
If
need.
everybody should be grateful for any divorce you've gone through. It was a huge lesson. If you haven't learned that yet, you should go back and just meditate on what's the lesson? What was the lesson in that divorce? If you still have any bitterness or anger or hatred for that person, it's time to move on. And that's why Jodi's here tonight to help us move into the love frequency, to get rid of the storm of divorce, the storm of the tornado, the hurricane. Look at all the people in North Carolina who went through that horrific hurricane last year. And they're still putting together the pieces. And as my guest shared with us, what's making it better is community, the
Mhm.
community of people who are holding hands, supporting each other, saying it's going to be all right, sharing their bread, sharing their making soup, help sharing their wood, rebuilding. All that is what the lesson is in that hurricane is we needed more community.
Well, and that's how I look at it too. And the other thing is that, um, I would say start really looking at what you're creating in your life. Where do you have community? Where are you disengaging? Look at your activities on social media. Are you using the smiley emoji or are you using the angry emoji? And I'm going to tell you, if you have to use the angry emoji, don't use it, because guess what you're sending out, right?
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
asking people to really get conscious about what they're saying and doing. And then if you do make a hiccup, like I do every single day, okay, like, because we all do,
That's
it's
right.
cancel, cancel, cancel. Cancel it out in the universe. Because we have hiccups,
Yes.
Um,
So it is getting late, and I hear it's the information for Jodi's book, and her website is amazing. I love your website.
thank
So much, so many answers and solutions on her website. So do not get into fear at all when those storms show up. That's what we're here to remind everybody of. Please, 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 no fear about storms that show up. We need to make use of Jodi's website, my website, books. Oh, there's so many books and things that you can find and use to keep you in the eye of the storm.
right.
And
And what is the eye of the storm?
that's the peace in the
Yeah.
mid. That's that peace that surpasses understanding. I mean, you're whirling storm
Ah,
is whirling around you. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
mhm.
Right there, focusing, meditating on.
Yeah. I mean, if someone gets on your nerves, take a pause, go meditate, send them love. And if you can't send them love because you're still angry, been there, by the way, ask
Yeah.
God to do it for you.
Yep. That's right.
Ask him to be the surrogate.
That's right. So just practice the emotional intelligence
Mhm.
that we both are teaching and promoting and practicing. We're
Yeah,
both
I started studying EQ probably in 1990. Emotional
okay.
intelligence, 1989, actually.
Look at this. I've been rereading this.
Oh, I love that book. Yeah.
It's a little too much. I mean, to me, he goes into almost too much detail, but I'm preparing to do a TED talk soon, and I'm just practicing all getting all the knowledge about EQ and EI and putting it all together. And the main thing is we are living this EQ by the challenges that we meet every day, and then you and I can come together and tell our stories of victory. How
So
we
I would take a look at Crucial Conversations if you want to do that TED talk.
okay?
Crucial Conversations is how to have a conversation when the stakes are high.
Is that a video or
There's an audio and a book, hard copy.
oh, oh
I've
it's a
been
book.
reading it since 2011. And for most of that time, I would say this year I didn't do it, but I used to read it twice a year because there's a lot to know.
Yeah, it is. And that's why we don't have time to waste. We really don't. We should make the best use of our time every day. Like Jodi reminded you, first thing in the morning, you open your eyes, gratitude, 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 and start a conversation with your creator. Start a conversation with spirit. I have a picture of all my ancestors. I did a collage of all my ancestors that I had pictures of. So I talk to them first thing in the morning, and I talk to them throughout the day. And so have that peaceful divine focal point that you can really go to when the storm shows up. Okay. And Jodi, what's your advice on how to navigate the storms coming in the hurricane or whatever?
So go to prayer.
Go to prayer. Go to prayer. Instead of accepting the weatherman's report, go to prayer.
Go to prayer, and then actually ask God to shift, to neutralize it, and imagine the most loving thing you can imagine or something better, and then fill the storm with that.
Yes, 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 yes.
And look, if you can dream it, you can have it. All you have to do is use your imagination. All right.
And you know what? As we
I am so tired. I got to go to bed because it's 9.
Thank you so much for sharing all this beautiful knowledge, wisdom, and love. I can always feel your love come through.
Likewise.
And, we'll have to do this again in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to visiting you one day soon. So,
yeah.
And if you
I'll be out in Florida. I'll be out in Florida again.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't know exactly when, but it could be like November. So,
all right.
Thank you. Love you.
Thank you. And let me remind my audience to please like and subscribe. This is YouTube land. If you've gotten any benefit out of this show, please like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And if you have a need to read some books, my book is available on my website. From Fear to Faith in the Master Design. All you have to do is go to my website. I'm redoing my website, so I'm asking all of you to visit my website, yourholisticlifecoach.com, and let me know what you think of what the revision that I've done. Send me an email or a text and let me know how you like my work. I redid a lot of things that kept coming to me. You got to redo it. You got to redo, because I'm sending a message, and I'm offering a package for those who want to go on a 7-week transformational journey for $777. That's the price. So go to the website, look at it, check it out. I did a lot of revision, and let me know if that's something that you think you could want to do, or just let me know your feedback on that. And we're also going to be giving you a weekly update on our book, Vegetable Soup for Women. I'm on a collective project with several beautiful, maybe amazing souls, and we're all writing this book, Vegetable Soup for Women. And we'll be on every Thursday to introduce you to the authors of this book right here on Viada's Tiny House Village. So everybody have a good week. I didn't see Zelda tonight, but tomorrow morning, every Monday morning, Zelda's on Monday Morning Mindfulness, and join her for some beautiful meditation and awesome guests. So everybody have a good evening. All my yogi friends, namaste, sat nam, shalom. I love you. Ashe, ashe, oh, hallelujah.